Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about exercise. Exercise is something you do so that you stay healthy. Exercise is physical activity that you do every day or every other day so that your muscles are in good shape, so that your heart is healthy. Exercise is something I sometimes forget to do, but I do try to do it as regularly as possible. There are a number of things you can do to stay healthy. You can eat healthy food, you can exercise, you can make sure you relax. It's good to take a break sometimes as well. But this English lesson this morning will focus on exercise as one of the main things that people do in order to stay healthy and stay in shape. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about exercise. Exercise. So as I stated in the introduction, exercise is physical activity. It's something we do in order to make sure our bodies stay in shape. When you exercise, you go through a series of movements, or you do an activity, or you play a sport. Usually you will sweat and you will start to breathe rapidly when you exercise. All of this is good for your bodies. It helps you to have more agility. That's the ability to move really quickly in different directions. It gives you more strength so that you can lift heavier things. It gives you better, when you're older, it helps with your balance as well. If you exercise as an older person, you're less likely to fall over if you trip. So exercise has many, many benefits. It makes your heart healthier if you can get your heart rate up when you exercise. So something each and every one of us should be putting into our week. We should be planning each week to do some exercise. One thing that is very common is people will go for a run or they'll go for a jog. If I switch this to the ing form of the verb, I could say I like to go running or I like to go jogging. Sometimes in English we'll say I like to run, I like to go for a run, or I like running. I like to jog, I like to go for a jog, or I like jogging. Sorry that there's so many different versions, but certainly this is a form of exercise that will make your heart rate go up. And I'm sure if you go for a run or go for a jog the next day, your legs will probably be a bit sore. So excellent thing to do if you want some exercise. Go for a run or go for a jog. You can also go for a walk, or you can go walking, or you can walk. Another verb where there's some variations, and you can use it as a noun as well. These two people are going for a walk. They're actually kind of marching a little bit, but it is technically a walk. If you're wondering what the difference is between a walk and a run, when you run, at times both feet are off the ground. When you walk, these people are getting really close, aren't they? When you walk, both feet stay on the ground at all times. So walking is kind of a slower version of motion. This is my preferred exercise. I like to go for a walk every day or every other day. It's just a great way to get your heart rate up and to exercise a little bit. So you might cycle. So in English, we use a lot of different ways to describe this. You might go for a bike ride. You might go cycling. You might decide, let me see if there's another way to say it. I think those would be the two most common. What do you do for exercise? I like to ride my bike. What did you do yesterday? I went for a bike ride. So we do use cycling. You could say, oh, I go cycling. I'm a cyclist. That's what I do for exercise. This is not what I do for exercise. I find cycling to be a little bit, I don't know. It's cool because you can go really far in the same amount of time as opposed to walking or running, but I haven't really done much of it. Maybe I should do a bit more cycling. Swim. I do not swim like this guy. When I go swimming, there's a lot more splashing because I'm not very good at swimming. But swimming is a cool form of exercise because it's a lot easier on your body. What I mean by that is when you go running, it's very jarring. Like you land really hard when you go running. When you go cycling, it's a little easier as well. But certainly when you swim, it's very smooth. You're in the water. That's what I like about swimming. I don't swim for exercise very often, but certainly I do enjoy going swimming in the summer to cool off. To lift weights. When you lift weights, you get what are called barbells or dumbbells. You get weights and they'll be measured in kilograms or pounds. So you might get a couple of 2-pound weights and lift them above your head like this person. You might get some 10-pound weights and you might use them to try and increase the amount of strength in your biceps or your triceps. This is your bicep and tricep. It's hard to see on the screen, isn't it? I'm not going to name all the muscles in this activity, but when you train with weights, when you use weights, when you lift weights, when you do weights, there's a couple different ways to say it. It helps you get stronger. I like to do weights a couple times a week. I like to lift weights a couple times a week in order to just have some strength. It's nice to have strength and to do some strength training. I used a bunch of different words and phrases in that last section about lifting weights. You might want to review that one after the lesson. When you exercise regularly, when you take care of yourself physically, we would say that you are fit. The people in this video are fit. They are not overweight. They are able to do something that I probably wouldn't be able to do. They can move a weight from one side to the other and keep their balance. If you know someone who exercises regularly, you would probably say that they are fit. They are probably really lean. That means you're not overweight when you're really lean. At the end of last summer and early fall, I was quite lean. I had walked quite a bit and I had lost some weight. I was very lean. I'm doing okay now, but I do need to start watching things again. But a fit person would be slim. They would be very lean. They would be in shape is what we would say, which is the next word or phrase. So when you are in shape, it means that you exercise regularly. In fact, when you're fit or when you're in shape, they have the same meaning. You would say, oh, my sister's in great shape. She exercises every day. Or my brother has to stay in shape because he trains other people at the gym. So when you are in shape, once again, you are not overweight. You are very slim and trim, and you could probably see some of your muscles if you wear a shirt like this. You are in shape. And then toned. When we describe someone as being toned, we're saying that we can see their muscles when they wear a shirt like this. So this person, in fact, if I go to the picture instead of the video, you can see his muscles. You can see his shoulder muscles. You can see his bicep and tricep, and you can see the muscles in his forearm because he's very, very toned. This is something that I'm not very toned. I'm not, I think someone in the mode said, show us your guns. Yeah. When you're toned, it just means that even when you're relaxing, it's easy to see muscle definition is how we would say it. So this person is definitely very, very toned. And then I'm going to talk about the verb work out. So this person has decided to work out. They have decided to do some push-ups. So any kind of physical activity can also be called a workout. We generally don't talk about running or walking or cycling as a workout. When you talk about someone working out, they're usually doing some push-ups, some chin-ups, they're lifting some weights, they're doing all different activities or exercises. Notice though, I've used workout in two ways. I can say I'm going to work out today, and that's spelled this way. I can also switch it to a noun and say I'm going to do a workout. In that case, it becomes one word. So if you're going to work out today, you will probably put on a short sleeve shirt and some shorts, and you'll find a place in your house to work out, or you might even go to the gym. stretch. So there's a couple things that, well, there's different theories. One theory is that you should stretch before you exercise. Another theory is that you should stretch after you exercise. Some people think you should never stretch at all. But I do actually stretch a bit every morning. When you stretch, it means you kind of do what this man is doing. You kind of lengthen your muscles, right? And you move and you bend over and you lean from side to side. Now, stretching is something that helps your muscles to loosen up a bit. It kind of removes a bit of pain if you have a little bit of pain. But I did mention another word, and that's the word to warm up. When I go for a walk, I stretch a little bit, and then I walk for about 2 or 3 minutes pretty slowly, just so that my blood in my body can start flowing and my heart can get ready. I don't go the full normal walking speed. So I normally walk about 3.8 miles per hour. I'm not sure what that is in kilometers per hour, but doing a little bit of warm-up exercise is always good before you go harder. So a gym, it's interesting in English, a gym has a couple different meanings. At our school, we have a gym. It's a large space where you can play basketball or volleyball or other sports. But this is also called a gym. I have a membership at a gym. That does not have a place to play sports. It has a number of different areas to work out. It has exercise bikes and weights and different things you can do in order to be healthier. So gym has a couple different meanings. The meaning I'm talking about today would be a place where you can go to work out, like what these two guys are doing. And then a weight room is generally any room that has lots of different weights in it. Okay, so this is probably not the best example, although you can see the weights on the far end. We would call those plates. Each one weighs a different amount. But a weight room would be, when I was in university, there wasn't a gym on campus, but in the dorm, there was a weight room. There was a place where you could go where they had weights where you could work out. So not sure I'm explaining this totally correctly. At our school, we have a weight room as well. There's a place, not the gym. I am probably confusing, but there's a room where they have all the weights where you can go to work out. And for me, when I go to the gym, in order to get in, I need my membership card. In fact, it's a little different for me. It's just on my keychain here. In this little video, the person has an actual bigger card, but you need a card in order to get in the gym. You do need to pay a membership. You do need to pay a certain amount of money per month. My gym is $30 per month. It costs me $30 per month. I have a membership card. When I go to the gym, I can show that card in order to get in. But lately, our gym, well, lately, it's been this way for a while. You can go any time of day, and then you just use your card at the front door and it goes beep and then the door opens. So you can actually work out anytime you want. If I wanted to, I could go work out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't ever do that, but I could if I wanted to. We have another phrase in English, to hit the gym. This means simply to go to the gym. You could say, I'm going to hit the gym later today. Are you going to hit the gym tomorrow? Yeah, I'm going to hit the gym later today. Why are you so sore? Oh, I hit the gym yesterday and it was a really hard workout. So it's kind of it's not really slang, but it's kind of a slang way to say go to the gym. Or you could say, Bob needs to hit the gym a little bit more. I haven't been to the gym for a couple of weeks. I need to hit the gym soon so that I can be in better shape. So there's a few different terms for people who go to the gym. Most people go just to be healthy, to work out, to lift some weights. But some people go because they are actual bodybuilders. A bodybuilder would be someone who tries to get their body in really good shape, tries to have lots of really big muscles because they're going to go into a competition to show off their muscles. They'll pose and then they'll be judged and they'll try to win a bodybuilding competition. So a bodybuilder is someone who wants everything to look perfect. They want all of their muscles, their leg muscles, their arm muscles, their chest muscles. They want it all to look perfect so that when they're in a pretty skimpy bathing suit at the competition, they can try and win that competition. This is different, though, than someone who is a weightlifter. A weightlifter is lifting weights in order to kind of work their way up to lifting the most weight possible. A weightlifter would be someone who would love to go to the Olympics, to be in the weightlifting division. So a weightlifter is trying, they will look good because weightlifting will build muscles, but they're primarily concerned with how much they can lift, not with how their body looks. So generally a bodybuilder is more concerned with how their body looks, and a weightlifter is more concerned with learning to lift really, really heavy weights. I am neither. I am not a bodybuilder and I am not a weightlifter. Although when I was in university, I will admit I did lift weights to try and look better. I wanted to look good. So I've mentioned weights a number of times. These are called dumbbells. There's dumbbells and barbells. Weights are anything you lift in order to increase your muscle mass and your strength. These weights are pretty common. This is what weights generally look like. There's a small bar and there are weights at each end. Sometimes you can add and remove the weights from the end of the bar, like with a barbell. So you can put weights on the end and then you can adjust how much you're going to lift. But I like to use a weight machine. So a weight machine, I find for me, because the machine helps control your movement. So there's machines, it's like I've lifted weights right now. There's machines where you push away. There's machines where you pull towards you. There's machines where you push up. There's machines where you pull down like this person is doing. I like those because I find when I do free weights, so we would call these free weights, I find when I do those types of weights, sometimes it's hard to control what I'm doing. So I think when I was younger, I was more likely to use free weights, but now I like to use the weight machines because I have a little bit more control. Jen has suggested that I should be using both. That with free weights, it's actually good that they're hard to control because that helps you build other small muscles in your body to help control them. So maybe I should do that. You might decide that you want to take a fitness class. Some people love to exercise on their own. I like to walk on my own. People who run sometimes like to just run by themselves. But some people find it better to take a fitness class. They'll sign up for a class to just to help them be motivated. It's similar to taking an English class. When you're learning English, you can learn on your own, but sometimes it's more enjoyable to take a class with other people. So these people are in a fitness class, they're outside. There's probably, I think the person in the middle at the front is probably the instructor, and everyone else is probably following along. So as the instructor shows them different exercises, they are following along. They are learning to do the exercises or doing the exercises with the instructor. One common type of class would be a yoga class. So sometimes people think yoga is more about relaxing and less about exercise. But if you've ever done a yoga class, you'll know that it's much more than sitting in this pose and meditating a little bit. When you do yoga, you do a number of different poses, and each pose forces you to use different muscles in your body. And the last time I did some yoga, I was sore the next day because you put your body in different positions that you normally don't do, and that causes your body to respond by building a bit of muscle. There's a type of exercise called cardio. So cardio is any type of exercise that makes your heart rate go up. When I walk, I want it to be cardio. So I walk at about 3.8 to 4 miles per hour. If I walk that fast, my heart rate goes above 130 beats per minute. We measure our heart rate in beats per minute. For me, at the age of 51, if my heart rate goes over 125 or 130, we would consider that exercise cardio. Cardio is a short version of the word cardiovascular. Anything that is cardiovascular refers to the heart. You might have to look that word up, by the way, cardiovascular. So anyways, again, any exercise you do that raises your heart rate above a number of beats per minute would be considered cardio. So for me, they said I need to walk. They being after I had heart surgery, they said you need to walk for at least 20 minutes, 3 or 4 days a week, where your heart rate is over 125 beats per minute. So I usually try to get a little bit over 130. So cardio, any type of exercise where your heart rate goes up above a certain amount. If you're younger, it might be like 135 or 140 or 145. That might be where you need to get to. So at least that's my non-professional definition of what cardio is. So you would describe exercise as cardio. Oh, I need to do some cardio today. I'm going to go running. I haven't done very much cardio lately. An exercise bike. So this is different than cycling. An exercise bike is a bike that doesn't move. It just sits in one spot. But when you sit on it, you can pedal and you can exercise. Sometimes exercise bikes will have adjustable resistance. That means you can make it easier or harder to pedal. So the harder it is to pedal, the higher your heart rate will go and the better it is as a workout. I do like using the exercise bike at the gym. Sometimes when the weather's bad, I will go to the gym and I will walk to the gym in the rain, and then I will work out and use the exercise bike. I actually like walking in the rain, by the way. I don't know why. There's something else called a treadmill. A treadmill is something that you can walk or run on when you're at the gym, or you might even have one at home. A treadmill is a nice way to exercise when the weather is bad. Here, when the weather is really bad, when it's snowing or when it's raining really hard, even though I like walking in the rain, I will go and use the treadmill at the gym. Sometimes I will use the treadmill and then I will use the exercise bike. That's sometimes nicer. Then you don't get soaking wet and cold from walking in the rain or in the snow. But yes, treadmills are very nice. In fact, a lot of people in North America actually own their own exercise bike, and some people own their own treadmill. They're not cheap, but they are nice pieces of exercise equipment to own. By the way, there's another term for you, exercise equipment. And this is how I would describe how I walk. I like to go for a brisk walk. You can go for a stroll. I think I've taught many of you that word before. A stroll is a slow walk. It's not really exercise. But when you go for a brisk walk, you move your arms a bit more. You walk really fast. In fact, the purpose of a brisk walk is to make sure that you break a sweat. When you break a sweat, it means your body gets warm and you start to perspire. You start to sweat. You can see this guy, he's definitely done something where it has caused him to break a sweat. He is sweating. That means he's definitely exercising. If you do something and then it causes you to get warm and start to sweat, it's definitely then exercise. And again, that was another recommendation I got from my doctor. You need to walk until you break a sweat and then keep walking for 20 to 30 minutes after that point. So it takes me about 5 or 10 minutes to get to the point where I feel like I'm actually exercising. Personal trainer. A personal trainer is someone who you pay to help you work out. They will design a workout plan for you. They will design a strategy. They will set goals for you. They will show you how to do different exercises at the gym. This guy has probably hired this woman to be his personal trainer. That means he doesn't have to think about what he's going to do at the gym. When he goes to the gym, his personal trainer will say, okay, we're going to start with this machine, which I think is a squat machine. We're going to start with this machine. You're going to do it 12 times and then take a 30-second break and then do it some more. By the way, there's things called reps and sets with working out. I'm not going to give you all the details. I'm not a personal trainer. But if you have lots of money, you can hire a personal trainer. Many celebrities, especially actors and actresses, will hire a personal trainer so that when they start working on the movie, they look great and are in great shape. So anyways, personal trainer is someone who is an expert at working out and helps you work out properly. Activewear. So we might call this fitness gear. We might call it workout gear. I call it activewear. Activewear refers to clothing that is designed for people who are exercising. So when I go for a walk, I don't wear jeans. I don't wear my dress pants. I have special pants that they're a little bit waterproof. So if it does rain, they're warmer than normal pants. So I have some activewear. I also have, I don't actually have it here. I also have a jacket that I wear that's very thin. So as I get warmer, if it's raining or bad weather, it lets me sweat a little bit. It lets me enjoy the outdoors. And it actually looks a lot like this one, just a different color. So activewear would be any type of clothing, shoes, pants, shorts, shirts, t-shirts, jackets, any kind of clothing that you would wear when you work out. Usually it's a bit stretchier as well than normal clothing. It breathes better. That means it lets air in and out better than normal clothing. And we would call it activewear. Some people will watch a workout video. This became very, very popular during the pandemic. In Canada and in probably every other country, gyms were closed. You couldn't go to the gym. You couldn't go and play basketball. You couldn't go and lift weights. You couldn't go to the gym and go to a fitness class. And so workout videos became very, very popular. In fact, on YouTube, two types of channels grew during the pandemic: cooking channels and workout channels or exercise channels. So you'll see here, this guy is watching a workout video. It looks like some type of yoga, and he is watching the video in order to learn how to do it. This is the cheap way to get instruction for working out. So if you can't afford a personal trainer, many people will watch a workout video. And then, of course, there are things called fitness trackers. So my fitness tracker says that I have taken 248 steps today so far. It also says that my pulse is 82. That's not too bad considering I'm talking. When I sit and do nothing for a while, my pulse goes down to about 65. When I'm at work, it's usually around 75 or 80 if I'm walking around. And again, when I go for my walk, my pulse goes up to about 125 or 130. If I walk briskly up a hill, then my pulse will go to 135 or somewhere around there. But a fitness tracker will track the number of steps. It will track your heart rate. Some of them do other things as well. Mine has GPS built in, so it will, if I go for a walk, when I get back on my computer, I can see a map of where I walk. But very fun. By the way, I don't think anyone, this is more of a futuristic. No one has a fitness tracker with a 3D hologram that pops up, but that would be cool someday, wouldn't it? And then a lot of people will have a mat. We call this a workout mat. Most people just call it a yoga mat, even if they're not using it for yoga. But a lot of people will have a mat that they use when they work out. In our back room of our house, we have a mat. So if we work out at home, it's just a little softer and it has a little cushion under your feet. So when you're lifting weights or jumping up and down, it's just a softer thing to have under your feet.